Hey YouTube, this is Steve, Lip and Lickers Fishing, coming back to you with another tackle tip. I figured tonight I need to restring one of my rods, one of my bass rods. So I figured I'd show you guys an easy, effective way to properly spool a baitcaster reel. And the baitcaster I have with me tonight is the Shimano SLX DC. Really love that reel. Nice and smooth. And I don't have any issues casting with it whatsoever. Set that brake just right. Set your drag right. Never have any issues with backlashing or bird's nesting. Just takes a little bit of time playing with it to get the settings right. So we're going to get the reel off the rod, since 7-foot rod's a little long to be maneuvering around inside the house. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is you need to get all your old line off the spool. There's really no easy way of doing this unless you have a line spooler, which I don't, so doing the old wrap the line around the hand technique. So get all this line off of here. Alright, so you got your old line off. It's a good time to inspect your reel. Make sure everything's working as it should. And this reel here has a nice function where you can just open up the side here. If I can remember how to do it. There we go. Take it off. See the drag brake system. You can even take the spool out, inspect the spool. And this would be a good time to oil your reel. But I'm not going to go through that tonight because I already did that back at the beginning of the season. I just didn't put any new line on. So once you've checked everything over real good, lubed your reel up nice, put her back together. And once you go back together with it, make sure everything functions the way it's supposed to. Run through the reel handle crank a couple of times. Check your drag wheel, brake wheel. Yep, everything's working pretty good. There's a couple different ways you can do this. Some of your higher end reels, your more expensive reels, they've got a line hole in the reel spool right there. For me, for where I fish, I don't usually typically worry too much about running around the spool and tying a knot. Because if you line your line guide up with that hole area, then you can take your line and you're going to want to pass it through the hole in that guide, that slide guide. So that's what keeps your line even going back and forth across the spool. Just want to be careful and run it through that hole. And it might take you a few times, but get it in there to where it grabs inside that hole. And then just hold on to your line. It grabbed inside the hole, and now I'm able to spool on top of the spool. So now we're going to set this down on the floor so I can get it to come off the top of the spool. You just crank her in there. You got a high-speed reel, it'll go a lot faster. This one's only, oh, what is this one? I don't remember. 7.2 to 1. So I mean, it's not a slow reel, but it's not a super fast reel either. But I really like this reel for my Texas rig fishing, worm fishing. Look at it, I'm putting 14-pound fluorocarbon on it. Is that when I'm doing a lot of bass fishing, I like to use the fluorocarbon just simply because it doesn't reflect sunlight. So it makes it a little harder for the fish to be able to see it when you're casting down into them. Keep looking away from the camera. This is the first time I've tried to spool a reel on film. Just kind of bear with me, we're almost there. Now on a Baitcaster, you've got, let me get that spool of line over here. On a Baitcaster, you got these wheels in the side of your spool in here. On this one, I really like it because it's a different color than the rest of the reel. It's blue. So you want to have just a little bit of space, just pretty much enough for your fingernail from the top of that spool edge. If you get it any much more closer than that, you're going to end up having issues with, if your brake set kind of loose or your drag set kind of loose, that spool's got a little bit of play in it. Then when you're trying to cast out and reel back in, if you get a little bit of line twist or line memory that's still in the line and it kind of bunches up just a little bit in the beginning, it can get stuck behind there, and then you have to take the whole reel apart just to get that untangled. So I like to leave just enough that I can hang my fingernail on it. And then we'll just kind of cut it off right about here. Looks like I got a twisted portion of line in there. I think I got it out. Alright, and then from there, you have a full, properly spooled Baitcaster. Ready to throw it back on the rod, tie a Texas rig, maybe a jig, hit the water, start ripping some lips. Well everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, smash that like button. Leave me a comment, let me know some tips that you'd like me to do on my channel. Something that you'd like to learn how to do. If I know how to do it, I'll make a video on it. If I don't know how to do it, I'll learn and then I'll make a video on it. So this is me saying I love all of you. Have a great night, and I'll see you on the next one.